Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ricky's Reviews, where today I figured we would continue with the Scream franchise since the new one comes out in a few weeks. It's in February, yeah, a few weeks. And today we are covering, drumroll please, I mean you probably already saw the title, but today we are covering, I forgot how long this takes. Hurry up please, oh my gosh. Scream 2. Now, this movie came out in 1997 and was directed by Wes Craven, and the premise of the film pretty much goes as such. 1 year after the events in Woodsboro, Sydney has gone off to college and is trying to live a normal life, free of Ghostface and horror movie slashers, but she ends up running into another series of murderous attacks, and new suspects are thrown around, bodies are dropped, and it's overall just a lot of carnage. But yeah, that's all I'm going to give you guys for premise of the film, because I do want you guys to go and watch the movie yourself before, you see this, or maybe after you see this. Just go and watch the movie, because it's a good movie, and I do really recommend it. But yeah, first, I'd say let's get into what I liked and disliked about the film. So, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so for starters, for likes, I do want to say that this movie is definitely a improvement upon the first film. Now, I really loved the first Scream film, and I think it's a really good movie. But this film, too, it just improves on so many of the elements that, honestly, I kind of thought the first film was lacking. Like, the first one didn't have as many chase scenes as I would like to, say. Because I like a horror movie with a lot of chase scenes. This one definitely has a lot of chase scenes and a lot of suspenseful moments that definitely increases upon the first film. And this film also has a lot more gore and violence and, prosthetics and, or I guess prosthetics for like the practical gore and stuff like that, which is something that makes a really good horror movie. And this one does a lot more of that than the first film did, and that's another thing that I can truly appreciate with this movie. Another thing that I like is that this one definitely had a lot more suspects and red herring characters than the first movie, because with the first one you only really had, maybe you could have said the principal, but it was pretty easy to tell who the killer was going to be. With this one, when I first watched it, I had zero clue who the killer was going to be until the very end, which, I mean, that can kind of go as a double-edged sword for this movie. I'll get into that later. But this one just had a lot more characters that you could say, oh, this person's the killer, or oh, this person's the killer. And you didn't really know up until the end, which, I mean, I think that does have to do with something behind the scenes, because I know this movie went through a few separate script rewrites and script leaks, because I know originally, I'll get into spoilers here, I guess, for leaks of the movie back when it was first releasing. The characters of Derek and Hallie were originally supposed to be Ghostface killers as well, but then the script got leaked, so they had to change that and made it spoilers again for the end of the movie. So if you don't want spoilers, click off now. But the killers in this movie end up getting revealed to be Mrs. Loomis, who is Billy's mother from the first movie, and Mickey Altieri, who I did not expect to be the killer. I kind of thought he was just a random dude, which I'll get into that later when I talk about the dislikes. But yeah, that movie had that, and then Scream 2 had multiple different rewrites that were changing up who the killers were, so scripts got leaked, and then stuff got changed, and it was just a whole thing. But honestly, with this movie, it kind of works well with not knowing who the killer is, and it kind of helps to play into the next part that I'm talking about, which is Sydney's paranoia, which is another thing that I like, because constantly throughout this movie, Sydney doesn't know what to think and what to believe, and you see that with a lot of her character actions throughout the end of the movie and just all of her decisions. And that does actually help, because in the later films, her paranoia is somewhat there, somewhat not there. But in this movie, I feel like it plays her paranoia and just her fear of not being able to trust people the best out of all of the Scream films. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Now, to get into dislikes for the film, what I said before about not knowing who the killer is, sometimes when you do murder mystery movies or stuff like this, whodunit slashers, and you don't really say who the killer is, and you don't give any sort of clues or anything to kind of say, and the reveal just kind of feels somewhat, I guess, lackluster. That can kind of be an issue, and I will definitely get into that when we review Scream 3, which I'll probably have out next week. But yeah, that was one of the things I didn't really appreciate about this movie. And I also didn't like how they kind of just wasted Randy's character. Like, I still, to this day, do not get why they killed him. Like, he shows up, he survived the first movie, and he just gets killed in, like, the most anticlimactic way possible. He just starts trash-talking Mrs. Loomis and Billy, and then just gets killed. Like, it was just so, again, lackluster and like bland that I was like, what was the point of bringing his character back? He shows up for maybe 3, 4 scenes and then dies. But yeah, it was something. But other than that, I don't really have much that I disliked about this film. This one was really good, and if I have to give it a rating, I will give it a rating of 8.5 out of 10. It improves upon some of the things of the first movie, and it's a pretty good standalone sequel. Now, for my favorite scene of the film, which is playing in the footage right now, it is the movie theater scene, or the opening kill. Mostly because it plays into the element of having multiple different people in Ghostface masks, which played into the marketing fact that Ghostface is a real life like Halloween mask and a thing. And they did play into this in Scream 6. I just like how they did it with this movie, with them having multiple Ghostfaces in the theater, which allows for someone to actually get killed in public. And it was also just a really fun scene. But yeah, that is my review for Scream 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.